makeup room. Oh, I miss you so much. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Mimi here, and wait. It's your girl Mimi and her fabulous tan here to give y'all the story of me getting stuck at sea during Hurricane Dorian. Dorian, you know what? Like, out of all the times you could have like come and fucked up shit, you did not have to do it during the time I was on my cruise. But you did, and I'm here to tell y'all all about my 2-week vacation being stuck at sea. So if you're interested in hearing all the funny things that happened, how we had to wash our clothes out in the sink using shampoo, just to make sure we had enough stuff to wear, then keep on watching because I got it coming for you right now. Alright, so I'm going to try to give y'all the rundown of the entire trip as much as I can. Give y'all some tips and tricks about going on cruises. Tell y'all a lot about the cruise because this was probably the best cruise that I ever went on. And I will be referencing the photos in my phone because it'll remind me of like what I did and different things to tell y'all. So if y'all see me like doing one of these, then that's what I'm doing. I'm looking down at my phone. But we're going to start with the beginning of the trip, which started out amazing. Like a dummy, I went out the night before in Birmingham, Alabama, and ended up getting in probably about 2 hours before my flight. So going out, immediately got to the car, Ubered to the airport, and got on my flight. So when I arrived in Orlando, I was tired. You hear me? I was gone. I was ready to go to sleep. So I knew when I got on the cruise, I was just going to go straight to my bed because I was extremely tired. However, this ain't no ordinary cruise ship. First of all, let me just tell y'all this. I was on the second largest cruise ship in the world, okay? And it looked like it. This cruise ship had everything. And like I said, I'm going to show y'all some of the things that I caught that I thought were like really, really cool. But I can't say anything that will make y'all believe how amazing this cruise ship was. Like, you have to experience it for yourself. It was the Harmony of the Seas, which is a cruise ship with Royal Caribbean. Best cruise I've ever been on. And I've been on like 3 or 4 cruises. So just take note of that. So the first thing we did was went through all of the check-in process for the cruise. This was pretty easy. It took about 15 to 20 minutes. No line, no wait. It was smooth. They had everything together. Everybody knew what they were doing. They told us what we needed to do. Have your passports out. Have your SeaPass card out. Whatever we needed to do. So we got through pretty okay. Okay, so like I said, I went out the night before and thought I was going to come in and go straight to sleep. Didn't do that. It was turn up immediately when we got on the ship. The rooms were amazing. Better than any cruise ship I've ever been on. They were spacious. They were set up in a way where you didn't feel cramped. And, you know, I've been on cruise ships where, like, if it's 2 people in the room, you, like, doing this the whole time. You, like, real squish. They were set up where there was enough room for all of our suitcases, all of our clothes. The shower was a nice size. I love that because I've been on a cruise ship where the shower, you were actually touching the walls. The attendant, his name was Junior. He was so nice. He made sure we had everything that we needed. He left us little towel rolled animals that he made almost every day. It was perfect. The rooms were nice. The bed slept great. The TV, it had, I want to say, maybe about 20 channels. The cable sucks, okay? The cable sucks. But if you're like me, I can pretty much, I guess, I can get with anything. I can watch anything. So I was watching Blue's Clues one night. I watched the news more than I've ever watched the news in my life because, of course, Hurricane Dorian was coming and I was trying to see how it was going to affect me getting back home. But other than that, everything was perfect. Like it was a great atmosphere, environment. Everybody was nice. Perfect. Okay, so the first thing we did was went to the pool, and I knew that's where I was going to be like the entire cruise because, like I said in the beginning, your girl was trying to get a good little tan. That was my whole goal for this entire trip. So I sat out by the pool the entire time, almost every day. I was there. I was out by the pool in the sun, baking with all the other, people that bake. I was out there with them. So it was a nice pool. There were 4 pools. One was designated for kids. Kids were going in some of the other pools, but they were not allowed in the one adult pool that was there. So we kind of stayed with the adult pool because it was way too many kids on that boat for my liking. Like, if I could do that ship again with no kids, I would be very, very happy. Okay, so we had the drink package, which means we can drink the entire time on the ship without paying. And there's no limit to what you can drink and how many drinks you can have. You can only order 1 drink at a time though. But I want to say we counted up because you scan your card, so it tallies up what you purchased. We probably got, well, I'm gonna talk about myself alone. I probably, throughout the course of the entire trip, and y'all don't refer me to AA meetings because I do not have a problem. But I would say between 350 and 400 drinks I got on that cruise the entire 2 weeks that I was stuck on there. Because after we heard about Hurricane Dorian, we was trying to drink our sorrows away because we was like, how are we going to get off of this ship? How long are we going to be here? For a long time, we didn't know how long we were going to be stuck at sea. And so, yeah, we just kind of drunk our sorrows away. Okay, so the next video I'm going to show y'all is one of our bartenders that we kind of like fucked with like really, really hard. He was really nice. His name was Kenneth, but we called him Kenny. We was always sitting at the bar with him. He made almost all of our drinks. But when we first met him, I asked for a Long Island iced tea. And I was like, make it real, real strong. And so in this video, you'll see him making the Long Island iced tea and me and my aunt tasting it. And it wasn't strong. Like, it wasn't strong at all. And you can see the expression on his face when I said, it's not strong. And he was like, because I saw him pouring a lot of liquor in there. So he probably was looking at me like, girl, I just emptied the bottle and that, what you mean is not strong? But his expression had me dying. It was so funny. But like I said, all the bartenders there were extremely nice. I think we ran into one that was kind of nasty acting. But yeah, all of them were really nice. All right, I'm bad. We're going to see if it's strong.
But he didn't put enough in there. That's so messed up. What's that? Really?
It's not tasting unfair.
You can try
It's not that strong. Tell me if it's strong unfair.
I tasted lime. That's all I tasted lime.
We're not alcoholics though. Kenny and another guy that we named 13 because he looked 13. Like, we were like, how old are you? How you serving drinks and you 13? He was like, I'm 24. We were like, you 13. So we started calling him 13 and he took care of us the entire trip. You hear me? 13, if you are out there, please reach out to me because I could not get, like, the day that we were leaving, we couldn't find him. I think he had to be to work at 11 and we had to be off the ship at 9:45, so we could not find him. I wanted to give him a nice lump sum of money. So 13, if you see this video, please reach out to me because I got something for you. So dinner was amazing. We had a set time that we went to dinner every day. It was 7:45, and we had the same table with the same waiters each time we went to dinner. Dinner was great. We had things that we've never tried before. As you can see in the video, nobody, my uncultured friends, didn't know how to spell escargot. So, of course, they looking at the word like, what is this escargot? What is that? Yeah, my friends. But yeah, we had things like the fish of the day. We had shrimp, lobster, steak. One night we had salmon. One night we had lasagna. And all of this is paid for. It's free. And it was great. The food was awesome. I loved it. Of course, when you're on there for 2 weeks, like I said, the menus do change, but a lot of things return on the menu. And so when you're on there for 2 weeks, you get tired of eating the same thing every day. But the food isn't bad at all. Food A1. Okay, so after dinner, we usually went to like some type of like night party or event like that. So we went to a silent party. And this was my very first time going to a silent party. I had seen it on like YouTube and social media, but this was my very first time going, and they had 2 DJs. So they had 2 stations. And it was pretty dope. Like, I was like, this is a cool concept, whoever came up with this. So in this video, you see me and my friends, we're at the nightclub that usually closed about 2:30 or 3, depending on which one you went to. And on certain nights, they would do special things like have the silent party. So this was pretty dope. I had a good time with this. Okay, so over the course of the days, you know, we ate probably about 3 times a day. You did not have to go to breakfast, lunch, or dinner. But if you did, you had a ton of places to choose from. And one of them that we went to frequently was Windjammer, because it was at the top of the ship. I think it was on the 15th or 16th floor. And so it overlooked all of the ship and the ocean. So it was a nice location to go. And it was buffet style. So you didn't really know what they were going to put out, but they had very, very good food. What I liked about Windjammer and a lot of the places on the ship was that they put washing stations at the entrance. So if you did not wash your hands, it was your nasty fault, because you had to walk past the washing station before you went into the buffet area. So I thought that was cool. Kudos to Royal Caribbean for implementing that, because y'all know cruise ship outbreaks. Y'all know I'm an epidemiologist. I deal with this stuff all the time. It's real. Like, you don't want to be on a cruise and get something like salmonella or shigella, or just be jumping at the butt because you done ate something that's been contaminated with something else. So kudos to them for that. This was a great implementation on the ship that made or forced people, especially kids, to wash their hands before they went and ate. So our first stop was Coco Cay, which is Royal Caribbean's privately owned island. And it was a nice spot. It had a beach area, and it also had a water park. We didn't do the water park because we didn't want to pay to go in, because we thought it was going to thunderstorm. It actually did start raining a little bit. And the policy that they had was like, if it rains this much, then you get this percentage of your money back and blah, blah, blah. So we didn't want to chance it and pay to go in and then have to leave. So we ended up sitting out by the beach, listening to music, buying more and more drinks. They had a lot of acts that were performing around the island. We saw iguana, which iguana meat is a big thing out there. So they were like, if you think it's chicken, it's probably iguana. I was like, yeah, y'all don't want me to eat chicken then. Like, y'all don't want me to eat chicken this whole time. Why would you tell me that? You know? But yeah, so we saw iguana. It was cool. It was a nice chill spot. We didn't do any excursions there. I don't even think there were any. There may have been. But we walked around the island a few times, purchased a couple of things, and just sat out on the beach. You know what? Like I said before, and get this tan so I can be a brown skinned girl for a couple of months. You hear me? So Coco Cay had this really nice pool area that had a swim up bar, and they had the stools in the water so you can sit at the bar if you wanted to. We spent probably the last hour or two of being at Coco Cay at that bar because they had music playing, DJs, the lifeguards, they looking kind of cute, But yeah, we spent about the last 2 hours there just chilling, drinking, having fun, waiting to go back on the ship because one thing I'm gonna let y'all know. Y'all don't want to miss the ship, okay? Be back when them people tell y'all to be back. And if you're not back, make sure you have your passport because you're going to have to fly home. So our next stop was Cozumel, and although you can do like a lot of excursions at each of these stops, we just opted to kind of like go into the local community, like downtown Cozumel, and do some shopping, meet the people, just see what it had to offer. So that's exactly what we did. And this is where I actually got to hold 2 parrots, and it was such a unique experience, the different things that the guy had trained them to do. And so in this clip, you see me and my mom, we actually were the 2 that did it. Everybody else was like, I ain't doing it. Doing different things. And I add some pictures as well so that y'all can see the different pictures that we took. And it was only $10. One thing I'm going to tell you about some of these areas, you can talk the price down tremendously. Never take the first price. I almost want to tell you not to take the second price because I was able to talk down a lot of stuff and get a lot of cute things, including these pictures, for little to nothing. I got this really, really cute swimsuit cover up for like $10, which it started off at $35 when she first tried to sell it to me. So Cozumel was great. The only thing about Cozumel is when we found out about Hurricane Dorian, they told us that we were going to be in Cozumel for 2 days. So at that point, we were over it. We already been here. Why y'all can't take us to like Jamaica or something? But the captain explained why he made the decisions that he made as far as keeping us at sea and also taking us back to Cozumel. Not 1 time, but 2 times. So we were at Cozumel 3 days before we were able to leave. So yeah. Cozumel was the first time I was able to get Wi-Fi service because I didn't pay for the internet package on the boat. The internet package runs you about, I want to say $300, $300 to $400. The drink package was $500 a person. And they also have a $300 food package. So it can get pretty expensive. And so I opted to not do the internet package because I did want to disconnect from everything and just, enjoy the trip and just record and take pictures, but not be worried about uploading on Instagram or YouTube or anything like that. But we did stop at a restaurant and they had Wi-Fi. So this is where I connected, and this is where my friends thought it was funny to pick at how YouTubers act.
Hey guys, we're sitting here at Fat Tuesday. Everybody drinks. That's what we do.
That's where we are.
That is what all y'all YouTubers sound like. Hey guys, guess what?
Today we're gonna do our brows.
We just got these amazing
Look,
hats.
Mimi be like, let me show y'all my new product right here. Like, it's so great. I put it on.
So you gotta start with the eyeliner and tap it on slowly, guys, okay?
Alright, we just pounding on my homie face. But that is what y'all sound like though.
So our next stop was Honduras, and this was my favorite stop out of all the places we went on the cruise. So Honduras, we actually were able to, so when you get off the boat, the port area, there's not a lot there. There's a couple of shops, a couple of bars. Other than that, we walked around probably 5 minutes and we had seen everything that the port area had to offer. But where the taxi area was, there was a lot of booths that were trying to sell you like excursions, like, hey, we can take you here for this amount of money. Hey, come over here. I mean, to the point where like I'm talking to one lady and another guy will be like, hey, I got a better deal. Come over here. So, we sitting there bargaining and trying to see who was going to give us the better deal. And this guy for, I want to say $25, he was able to give us a van and a driver for the entire day. And they took us to different areas in Honduras. And we also went to a monkey park. My favorite part of the entire trip. I got to hold and play with monkeys. I got to play with parrots. I got to hold a sloth. So in this video, you'll see all of that going on. Honduras was a pretty poor community, but the people did treat us nice, and we had a great time there. It was the best time out of all the stops that we made.
She will get it for your hand. Oh, there you go. Do they crack the shell? Yeah. Look, I can do that. Bye, Lola.
So this clip is of the beach in Honduras, and I wanted to show y'all how clear and pretty the water was. At this beach, my family opted to do some jet skiing. I didn't do it because when I go on trips, I like to do things that I've never done before. And since I had been jet skiing a bunch of times, I was like, y'all can go ahead. I'll sit back and watch this stuff. But they had a great time. They were able to go all the way out in the water and jet ski. We met some people there. We had some drinks again, of course. We just laid out on the beach and waited for our driver to come back. He told us, he said, hey, how long do y'all want to be out here? We said about 2 hours. And so he came back and got us and took us back to the port. But it was an awesome experience at that beach. I love seeing blue water. I love seeing blue, clear water. And so I was able to play around in the beach a little bit. So Costa Maya was our last planned stop. And I believe the day where we learned that we did not know when we were going to be able to get off of the ship due to Hurricane Dorian. So when we got to the port was really, really nice. They had this, with all the stores and booths and stuff around. In the middle was this big pool with the swim up bar. It had a volleyball net. It was a lot of people in it. It had chairs all around it. Nice place. But the pool was a saltwater pool. I couldn't deal with it. I could not deal with it. Like every time that water got in my mouth, I just envisioned people peeing in the water, and that's what was making it salty. Not that it was a saltwater pool, so I couldn't. Sorry, y'all. I could not stay in that water long. I was in there probably about 5 minutes, and I was like, can't do this. There was a whole bunch of kids in there and adults as well, but couldn't nobody convince me that that was salt water. I just knew. I knew it was pee-pee water. It was pee-pee water. You couldn't tell me different. I had to get out. So that was the bulk of the trip before we learned about Hurricane Dorian and the fact that we weren't going to be able to get off the ship. So the first announcement that came, of course, the announcer was like, hey, everybody, we just want to keep y'all updated on what's going on with Hurricane Dorian, and we're going to try to get y'all back as soon as possible. And it's looking like we're not going to be able to get back till Wednesday. Excuse me? Wednesday, like 4 or 5 days from now? So you're talking about we're on this cruise or supposed to be on this cruise from Sunday to Sunday. It is now Friday, and the announcer says that we won't be getting off any earlier than Wednesday. So what are we supposed to do? I did not pack for this many days. I need soap. I'm running out of lotion. Who gonna wash our clothes? Are you gonna run out of food? Do you got enough alcohol to sustain the amount of drinking I need to do to not go crazy on this ship? Do you? So when we were at Costa Maya and we learned of this, we were just kind of over it, because you're talking about being on water for, at that time, 5-6 days, and learning that Wednesday will be the earliest if we're able to get off on Wednesday. And of course, we weren't able to get off on Wednesday like they told us in the beginning. So we were kind of bummed. So now we're in survival mode, right? So mind you, you're going to gain weight on the cruise. You're going to gain weight. It's inevitable. So some of the things that I packed, they wasn't feeling like they were supposed to fit if I would have stayed the 7 days that I was supposed to stay. I put on a couple of shorts and I couldn't button them. Like, you get thick on that cruise. I don't know if they putting stuff in the food or what, but you will gain weight on the cruise no matter what you did. I probably ate more salads than anybody in my family that went, and I still gained weight on that cruise. So we're looking around like, okay, we need clothes washed. I didn't run out of like bras and panties because I always overpack with that. But you know how cruises are. They give you a limit to how much you can bring on. Of course, the airlines give you a limit to how much you can bring on. You don't want to bring too many bags because the rooms, although on this ship were spacious, and other ships, it's not a lot of room. So you want one big bag at the most. You don't want to overpack or have 2 and 3 bags because there's nowhere to put those in the room. So I only had one big bag, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't go over my 50-pound limit at the airport. So I packed enough to last for 7 days, not for like 12 or 13. So at this point, we've gotten in survival mode. The cruise operator tells us that we're going back to Cozumel for 2 more days. So at Cozumel, we actually found the grocery store. We were able to ask what is their Walmart equivalent, and it's a place called the Mega. Went there and, you know, got more soap. I was out of soap at this point. My soap bar had dwindled down to like that much. So able to get like some of the toiletries and the stuff that we needed to stay for the extra days. And just kind of sat back and waited for good news. So at this point, we came to the conclusion that we need to enjoy the ship because we're going to be on this thing way longer than we thought we would be. So we started to go into some of the things, some of the shows that they had, some of the events, and things of that nature, and try to enjoy that. And I'm so glad we did. Mind you, even being on that ship for almost 2 weeks, I still hadn't done everything that could be done. So it's a big ship, and you won't be able to do everything unless you just like wake up and boom, go at it and don't stop until it's time to go to sleep every day. And that's not counting the 3 days that you're off the ship and going to these different islands. So we opted to just enjoy some of the shows and things on the ship. So in these next few clips, I'm going to show y'all some of the awesome things that the Harmony of the Seas has to offer. They have amazing cast in their performances, game shows, slides. They had a diving show where, I mean, these folks were jumping off of like 100 feet. I don't know what they were. Like, they were standing on things that were high and jumping off and doing flips and stuff into the water. So, yeah, I just want to show y'all a couple of clips from some of the things that the ship had to offer.
I see you driving around town with the girl I love, and I'm like, look at you. Got some change in my pocket, just wasn't enough. So I'm like, look at you and forget her too. If I was richer, I'd still be with y'all. Ain't that some shh? Although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. But will I forget you?
That's that pizza.
Okay, it's day 7, and at this point we know that we're not getting off until at least Wednesday. And so we're watching the news every day, all day, just trying to kind of watch Hurricane Dorian and see what path it's going to take. So at the point that we found out that we weren't getting off, Hurricane Dorian was approaching the Bahamas. And Dorian was coming this way, and we needed to go this way to get to our port. And so for as long as Dorian was coming, the ship wasn't going to go that way, because Dorian, although it was going very, very, very slow, we didn't know if it was going to speed up or what it was going to do. And Royal Caribbean was not about to risk billions and billions of dollars, and the fact that you could have put a lot of people, over almost 10,000 people, in harm's way by taking that route and not knowing if it was going to speed up and keep going towards Florida. So our cruise director and the captain opted to stay back in a safe area in the sea until we watched and figured out what Dorian was going to do. And what did Dorian do? Dorian approached the Bahamas and sat there and just did this. I'm talking about spent on top of the Bahamas for like 2 or 3 days. It was crazy watching it on the news, because it went from Hurricane Dorian is moving at 8 miles per hour. And then like we'll take a nap and wake up. Oh, it's moving at 6 miles per hour. And then like the next day, oh, it's down to 1 mile per hour. Okay, Dorian is stationary. Dorian ain't even moving. So as long as Dorian was right there at the Bahamas, we weren't going to be able to go in and port in Florida, because the distance from Florida to the Bahamas, although is a large distance, if we would have proceeded and Dorian would have sped up, we would have been in harm's way. So I understand the decision that they made by keeping us on the ship and keeping us out in the water. No matter how much we wanted to get home, no matter how many people were inconvenienced by this. I know there were people that had like pets at home, or, you know, different things, different situations going on that planned to be gone for 7 days, and it ended up being way longer than that. But for us, and like I said, we don't have internet access, and so some of us do, some of us don't, and it depends on where you stand on the ship, how good it works. When I did get access, I made sure to like call my job, call to check on my dog, call to make sure that, you know, my bills were paid, because I'm like, it's the first of the month, I know something due around here, I gotta pay. Called a couple of friends and asked them to do a couple of favors for me, and just, you know, trying to take care of things being away, and making sure that everything is in order back home, because that stuff doesn't stop. And so as Dorian continued to sit there in the Bahamas, we knew that we weren't going anywhere until it moved. So we just kind of tried to make the best of it being at sea. And the fear of the unknown, I know everybody was like, shoot, you on a ship? Like, just enjoy the ship. But it's the fear of the unknown. It's the fear of not knowing when you're going to get off. I mean, you're on a ship, so you're on water. So, you know, some people get seasick and things of that nature. It's just like, how long am I going to be out here? Looking at the things that you brought and just like, what if I run out of this? What if I run out of that? What if this happened? For females, what if I come on my cycle? What if, you know, I start my period and I didn't bring pads or tampons because I wasn't supposed to be out here this long, you know? So so many people on that ship, so many different things to worry about. And you can't enjoy a vacation when you don't know when this vacation is going to end, when you're going to be able to return home to your family, when you're going to be able to talk to your friends again, and things of that nature. So we, you know, continue to get up and go eat and do things, sit by the pool and all of that. But we did get like in a state of depression, like, dang, I'm ready to go home. Like I said, I've never looked at the news as much as I looked at it during this situation, because I needed to know when Dorian was going to cease and let us make it back home. So finally, we get the news that we will be porting on Thursday. And this is after Dorian has went from the Bahamas to the bottom of Miami, up the side of the East Coast. So hitting our port, of course, going up towards Jacksonville and the Carolinas. So once it got up to like Jacksonville, Savannah area, that's when we were like, all clear, we can go back. But we didn't know a time. So we didn't know what time we would be porting on Thursday. How does that affect us? Well, we need flights out of Orlando because we flew into Orlando to get there. We're flying out of Atlanta to get back. Thankfully, the airlines were very lenient about changing flights. You know, usually they'll charge you like change flight fee, $100, $200, whatever the case may be. But had this clause that like if you were flying from these areas, you can change your flight as many times as you need to make sure that you get back. And so when we did get back on Thursday, I was able to change and get a flight and make sure that I got out of there. So it was, when we found out that we were staying, it was kind of like, oh my God, I'm ready to go home, ready to go home. But then when we finally found out, like, okay, Thursday is the date that y'all will be able to get off of the ship. It was like, I'm not ready to go. I'm not ready to go. And so then we started trying to do everything on the last day. Still didn't get to do everything that I wanted to do. They had this huge rock climbing spot that I wanted to do, never got to do. The longest slide at sea is on that ship. Didn't get to go down that slide. There was a few things that I didn't get a chance to do. They have this bar that you walk on and the bar rises up to another floor. Didn't get to do that. I wanted to do that so bad. So there's still a lot of things on that ship that I didn't get a chance to do. And so I'm sure I'll be back. Maybe not soon, but after, you know, the PTSD wears off. So I want to leave y'all with a few things that a few tips that I was able to draft up from being on this cruise for so long. So the first thing is, of course, like I've been stressing, try everything. It wasn't until, so we messed up because we were on there the first, 5 or 6 days before we found out that we were going to be stuck. And so at first we started off like, oh, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that. And we were doing everything. When we found out we were stuck, we spent a lot of time taking naps, a lot of time just going to eat and coming back to the room. A lot of time just sitting by the pool because we felt like our time was indefinite at that point. Don't do that. Try your best to limit the naps, limit the time that you're in your room, limit the time that you're sleeping. And the lines for certain things will be long, or certain shows will cause you to like, hey, arrive 30 minutes early. Just do it because you're going to hate that you didn't miss it. I think the last day that we were there, we went to the Grease show. And it was a live Broadway show, of the movie Grease. And it was amazing. I was like, I'm so glad I didn't miss this. It was amazing. So I know there were a whole bunch of shows that I was like, it's at this time and I'm going to go to sleep. So I don't want to go. Don't do that. Stay on that trajectory and make sure that you are just constantly, oh, I want to experience this. I want to do this. Let me try this. Because you're going to regret it when you get off. The second thing is, you'll notice in like my videos and my pictures, the first couple of days I got on there, I had on these long, hot girl summer nails. I don't get my nails done. I don't wear nails. But I was like, I'm on vacation. I'm going to try something new. I did them myself. They came out great, but they limit me like from doing a lot of things. And one of those things was playing volleyball, water volleyball. And we had such a good time. We actually won first competition and got these little, I got it hanging up back here. We got these little medals for winning. But I broke a nail during that competition and I just was sitting at the pool like take these darn things. I can't wipe my butt. I can't hit the volleyball. I can't pick stuff up off the floor. To girls that wear those nails, kudos to you. You have a skill that I do not have and probably will never have. But yeah, if you're not a nail wearer, don't go get, some of these Cardi B nails. like what I did. Just keep it short, simple, or don't do anything at all, because it did hinder me from doing a lot of stuff. I played knockout on the basketball court, and I was just worried about not breaking the nail. Couldn't even really have fun. So no nails. And if you watch the videos, you'll see like the first couple of days I have nails on my hands, and then like the rest of the trip, like nothing on my fingers. So yeah, don't do that. All right, so the third thing is I know that white privilege exists. I do know that it exists. But I've never seen as much white privilege as I've seen on this cruise ship. I'm talking about you standing in line for something and somebody, a Caucasian person, just walks up and just stands in the front like, yes, help me. And I'm looking around like, you don't see this line of people? And in certain situations, they would get help. And I'm just like, white privilege is real. And there was a situation where a bartender said, oh, you're utilizing your white privilege. And I was like, oh my God. Like my friend told me, I was like, he did not say that. She said, yes, he said that. You're standing at the bar and somebody Caucasian comes up and just breaks through and places an order. I had a situation where that happened to me, and I said, I didn't address them. I addressed the bartender. I said, look, you know I've been standing here for a long time. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. And he took my order. But they literally, two girls walked up, placed the order, and I'm standing here patiently waiting to get a drink. So, yeah, that white privilege was strong on that cruise ship. And I was able to deal with it, but I broke on the last day when I was at the gym, minding my own business, sitting on a machine, the hip abductor machine where, you know, you open your legs, open and close. I'm sitting on a machine, on the machine, and I'm going through my phone to find a song that I wanted to download and listen to while I was working out. And this lady walks up to me and taps me on my shoulder. She says, hey, can I use that machine? And you know, I'm first like, now I'm not leaning on the machine now. I don't have my stuff on the machine. I'm on the machine. And so I looked up at her and I said, I'm using it right now. And she said, well, you're in your phone. And I said, well, when I'm done with the machine, you can use it. Do you know this lady stepped back, put her hands behind her back, and stood over me? And I'm there with my earphones in my ear and my phone, and I see her out of my peripheral. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say nothing. I don't want to go to cruise jail. There is a cruise jail. Mind you, there is a cruise jail. I don't want to go to cruise jail. So I didn't say anything. I'm still trying to find a song. When I want to say about 30 to 45 seconds passed, and I took my earbud out and I said, you don't have to stand over me. You can wait till I'm done. And she said, well, you're just in your phone. You're not even using the machine. And I said, I'm looking up a song to do my workout to, and when I'm done, you can use the machine. She walks off. I go back to doing what I'm doing. Do you know she came back? She came back. And she came back when I had found the song. And so I'm listening to it. And she leans over and she yells something at me, but I can't hear it because my music loud. But I don't know what she said, but all I can just think about is she said something like, you black this, or you Niger, or something like that. I didn't hear what she said because my music was loud, but to me, that's what she said. And I snatched my earbuds out of my ear, and excuse my French, but I told that lady, older lady, if you don't get the fuck out my face, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. And she walked off. And I kind of felt bad, but I was like, I ain't bothering you. I ain't did nothing to you. Nothing at all. But you come over here messing with me. You come over here messing with me. So, yeah. White privilege is very, very strong. Don't be me. Don't be me. Because at that point, I had gotten fed up with how much white privilege I had saw on that ship. And that was probably why my reaction was the way it was. Or maybe that's just how my reaction is. I don't know. It don't matter. But yeah, that was one thing I definitely noticed with being on the ship. And it has nothing to do with Royal Caribbean or, you know, their cruise line. It is what it is. Another thing I want to tell y'all. Get back to the ship on time. If you do not get back to the ship on time, they will leave you. I will show you a clip right here of the ship pulling off. If you're not on that ship, they will leave you. And be mindful that cruise ship time differs from island time. So the cruise is going off of a different time, and depending on what island you go to, the time zones are going to change. And so you're on the cruise and you might get off at like 9 o'clock in the morning. And when you get on the island, it might be 7 o'clock in the morning. And so you might be chilling. They telling you to be back at 5, and you think you on the island, you think it's 3, you're going to get left. So be mindful of the time. They always tell you to bring a watch so that, you know, your watch can stay on ship time so you'll know when to get back. But don't get left, because if you get left, you're going to have to fly from where you are back home. And the last thing I want to tell y'all is just become more cultured. Become more cultured so that you can interact with different kind of people. I met so many different people. Like I said, our waiters, our waitresses, our bartenders, they were all from places other than the U.S. So they were very, very nice. It was such a unique experience to meet so many different people, listening to a variety of different musics. You know, you want to go to the club and you want to have fun, and they don't have to be playing like Lil Baby and Drake and Young Thug and Future all the time. Like, become more cultured so that you can mix and mingle with different kind of people. You can still have fun and you'll know different things. I actually started with Duolingo. It's an app where you can learn a language. I started doing that like a month ago just to learn Spanish, just so I can, you know, just know something different than what I was taught from being in America. So become more cultured. This cruise ship is probably the best place for you to meet people that are from all over, and you'll meet people that are from areas that you're from. Like me, I met a lot of people from Atlanta and different parts of Georgia. You'll meet people that are from different countries than where you're from. So it's a unique experience. I had a great time meeting the different, you know, types of people that I met on the cruise ship. So that's pretty much the bulk of my cruise experience, being stuck on the Harmony of the Seas while Hurricane Dorian did what it wanted to do. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I didn't want to go in depth on a lot of things because this video can get very, very, very long if I do. But yeah, if you want to know anything else about cruising, I've been on a few. I can tell you different things, different ways to kind of finesse the system a little bit. Just leave all that information below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. I am happy to be home.